Sorry, I couldn't record it. Yes. Yeah. So guys, let's go for understanding that SQL in union SQL operations. So here, yes, guys, please meet your system. So in union operation, okay, in union operation, the use of the union operation is if you can combining the result of the two or more SQL statements. Okay. So So every select statement within the union must have the same number of columns. How many number of columns for the select statement? Yeah, how many number of columns you want to be select from the table to make sure that same number of columns you should have it. Okay, and the columns must have the similar type of data. See, whatever the type of data we have it, column 1, column 2, column 3, the same type of columns you should maintain for the column 1, and the column 1 of the table 1, column 1 of the table 2 should be same. Column 2 of the table 1 and column 2 of the table 2 should be same actually. Okay, so every column in every select statement must also have the same order. So this is what this is the conditions we should check before you are applying the union operation on your two statements. Okay, so union could be say. Okay, so union operator select only distinct value by default. So from the union, from the table 1 you are accessing some kind of columns, right? So here we are going to be accessing only unique distinct values, that means unique values. So in a column 1 there is a 5 elements which was repeated continuously 5 times. So instead of taking that 25 elements, it was considering only 5 elements only. The reason is that it is accepting only distinct values by default. But when I'm using the union all, it will access the duplicate values as well. That is the small difference between the union and union all. Clear? See, here we have, Mexico. This is the Mexico, right? Here we have a Mexico, right? So here the Mexico is repeated 2 times. That means here it is a duplicate. So when I'm using the union operation or union, it is by default it will be selecting only distinct value. That means instead of taking the Mexico 2 times, it can be considered only 1 time only. But when I'm using the union all, so it will take that Mexico 2 times. When we have a 2 times Mexico in your data in your table, it will accessing the 2 times actually. Okay, that's the difference between the union and the union all. Any question? Any question?
No, sir. This is having means uh, scroll below. So
Sorry.
hello, scroll below. Yes, here is the postal code for Mexico is 0.021, and for this is the next Mexico 0.023. Then which will access this one or this one?
Okay, so that's the situation actually. So based upon your writing the query, it will go ahead actually. Okay, so my intuition is that, for example, in your customer table, if you are accessing the country, okay, it will go for accessing the two. Instead of taking the two things, it will be considered only one. Okay, so that's what. So same number of yeah, this is a condition it has to met. Okay, column must have the similar data types, and columns in the sense in the within the table 1, not all columns actually. Okay, what columns we are accessing from the table 1, what columns we are accessing from the table 2. So make sure that you should go ahead with that account. Okay, Just 1 second. Actually, I'm getting a message from that. So we'll do, and when you are executing, then you will get some that information. Okay, and see, just 1 second.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Yes, sorry for inconvenience. I was got another call. It's very important. Yep. Fine, it was done. So we can try to do that, call union operation on our city from the customers and city from the suppliers. Okay. When I'm using the union, then what happens here? So we are accessing the all the records from the customers and all the records from the we are accessing the all the customer all the record from the city from this particular customer, and we are accessing the all the city from the suppliers. Okay, and we are arranging the data in ascending order. So make sure that the data it was what unique data, right? Distinct data we are accessing, right? So if I'm applying the union all for the same thing, then what happens here? So maybe it can be repeated two times for the same thing. So here Berlin is repeated two times, right? So this is the difference between the union and union all. So basically what exactly it will do, it will combining the results of the this select statement and this select statement, and finally what the result we are combining, that we are ordering actually. Okay, so this is the statement is not needed, this is the statement is not needed, but that is the result what we have it, that one if you want to arranging in ascending order or descending order, then we can able to go ahead with the see Mexico, right? So Mexico DE previously it was two times, now it was having only one time. That's the difference between the union and union all.
Uh, so Mexico is having postal code 1 and another
We'll
Mexico is
say
having postal code 2. This
yes.
is accessing postal code 1, not a postal code 2. Means arranging in a ascending order.
We are not working on any postal code in this particular query. Now we'll see that kind of thing only. Previously we seen only one column, right? We are only accessing only one column, right? From the customers table
Oh, right.
as well as from the supplier table. So from the customer table we are accessing the all the cities, and from the supplier table we are accessing the all the cities, and we are combining that result and we are arranging the order by. Okay, and meanwhile from the customer table we are accessing the cities, from the supplier we are accessing the cities, and because of the union what we are doing actually, we are arranging the data in a dupe. What data we have it, that we are that particular data we are doing that, postal code, I mean sorry, city names should be accessing like a unique data. Okay, duplicate elements it won't be considering. So
If
here
there is a condition for all, means
we'll
all
see, we'll see everything, we'll see everything. So we just seen only one column over here. Now we'll look for the two columns. For example, if the city and country, let me consider here city and country. So city and country, right? So here the city and country, there are two columns are there. Okay. So maybe the country it might having the duplicate cities or not. Okay. Yes or no? Say yes or no. See, just one second.
Hey, is everything all right?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, fine. So here you would like to go for accessing only country of the Germany, okay? And I want to print that country name, and we are accessing only Germany, right? So we're printing the Germany column, and from the city also we are printing from that particular Germany, okay? Meanwhile, from the suppliers also, you're accessing the country and you're displaying the country. So you're accessing the Germany country so that you're displaying only Germany here. Okay. And the corresponding cities from the suppliers also we are accessing. So here our main motto is that I would like to go for accessing the city and country, and the country should be Germany. Okay. When I'm using the union, the cities what we have it, the cities what we are accessing from the Germany, it could be not duplicated. Okay, so that's a use of the union. So previously you're asking some question regarding about postal code, right? So by the time it will take, the first we should give the postal code, so that postal code should be unique. Okay, postal code should be unique, but the country should be, can be repeated. Clear? So whatever you want to be go for, make it the union the data, that particular data you should give it in order by. Guys, can you hear me or not?
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
yeah, so here we are accessing the customers as type, and contact name, city, country from the customers, and from the suppliers. Okay, and from the suppliers we are taking the contact name and city and country. So following SQL statement list the all the customers from customers, and list the all the customers and suppliers. So that's a use of these customers and suppliers. So here type, okay, type is whatever you're accessing from the customer table we are accessing, right? So that it's a customer is your type, okay. And see it last, it's supplier it will be go for storing into the type column. See, so here what exactly we are doing, we have the two tables, right? Customer table and supplier table. So what data we are accessing, see here the contact names and city and country. Here also contact name, city and country. You might be thinking whether this contact is customer data or else whether this contact name is supplier data. Okay, that's the reason. So what I can do, this is the records to this all records corresponding that one you're giving, we are giving the type actually. Okay, you're creating the type variable. This type variable, if you're taking the data from the customer, so this is the customers, so this string will be holding into the type, and the supplier will be holding into this particular type. Okay, and here this is the columns we're accessing from the customers, and this is the data we are accessing from the suppliers. So this time you can see Mexico is the two. So I, what I told you actually, when I'm having the union, it won't take the duplicate elements, right? It won't take the, maybe a contact name. So if we have the, so the first thing what we have it contact name, right? So Maria Under and Anu Trolio and Thomas Hudden, and so these are all the unique data we have it. This is the contact name. The first thing what we have it, it could be your non-duplicate elements it will accessing. Okay. For example, union all. If you have any contact names should be similar, then it can access that particular thing as well. But unfortunately, the customer names and the supplier names should not be same here. 120, and if I do that union, even union also could be written to 120, which means that we don't have any duplicate names in a contact name in customers and suppliers in contact name in suppliers. There is no duplicate names. Okay, so that's a union thing, and we can try to go ahead and practice this union as well. And let's go ahead with the group by. Should we talk about group by in a separate session? Because of group by having could be very 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 important concepts. So those things I can explain you in our next session. Today we will meet in a Tableau session itself directly. Okay. Yeah. Take care, guys. Come to Tableau session who are coming for Tableau. Okay. Come to Tableau session. See you.